I'm Carla Steinberg and happy to be connected and involved with World Read Aloud Day. There is something about reading aloud that appeals to everyone. I have never met anyone, and including my cats, who don't like to be read aloud to. I love it when people read to me. I love to be read to. One of my great memories is my childhood imbibing of the fairy tales that my elders read to me. It was just beautiful. It was a chance to fall in love with the word, with wisdom, with understanding, to know that minds outside of our own have something to say that is, for the most part, important to us and significant in who knows what way. Sometimes we won't even know till many years later that something has really had an impact. It's an opportunity for us to mingle with people from other centuries, other parts of the world, in the great conversation, the words and the reception in our own very own heads, or in our lives that we take in and we imbibe. Beautiful stuff. Well, I have been very fortunate and blessed to have read aloud to my daughter, to return the favor of the fairy tales when she was a child, and to have been read Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame, one of the very great books, by a close friend, which brought us enormously close together through the great, just fantastic language and spirit of Grahame in Wind in the Willows. I actually thought of myself as Molly and my friend was Ratty, and all was well. Now, I'm going to read a few pieces from living poets and some inspirational material from those who are not necessarily with us, who continue to remain with us. Albert Einstein is one of them. He certainly, as most of you know, I think everybody knows now, he was responsible for helping us see things relatively rather than in an absolute way. And that has opened up a lot of wiggle room for many of us who don't like to do the script all the time. So I've always paid attention to him. In fact, I'm quite blessed to have, well, I might be deluded in this, but someone told me that I have a spider plant that came from his spider plant. And that is very thrilling. But more than the plant, I'll give you the words. Albert Einstein once said, "A human being is part of a whole, called by us a universe, a part limited in time and space. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feelings, as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few persons nearest us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty." I have a little piece on compassion by someone named Miller Williams. "Have compassion for everyone you meet, even if they don't want it. What seems conceit, bad manners, or cynicism is always a sign of things no ears have heard, no eyes have seen. You do not know what wars are going on down there where the spirit meets the bone." You know, our lives are not quite the same as the lives of birds who've got it knocked. They nest, first they court one another, they build the nest, they do music and architecture and building and nesting, amatory affection, and then the long sitting of the eggs, sitting on the eggs, and one mate, if they are fortunate to have a surviving one. Things happen in nature, but the mate will bring food for the one who's sitting. Very cooperative, very congenial. And this happens year after year, season after season, flock after flock, everywhere. So the birds have got it down. We haven't quite gotten it together. My sense is that we are evolutionary beings and that we're still working on our nesting skills. And I'm going to read a few poems that talk a little bit about the dilemma and the conundrums of our existence. The first one is by Sharon Olds, a contemporary woman, a poet, and this poem is called I Go Back to May 1937. I see them standing at the formal gates of their colleges. I see my father strolling out under the ochre sandstone arch, the red tiles glinting like bent plates of blood behind his head. I see my mother with a few light books at her hip, standing at the pillar made of tiny bricks, with the wrought iron gate still open behind her, its sword tips back in the May air. They are about to graduate. They are about to get married. They are kids. They are dumb. All they know is they are innocent. They would never hurt anybody. I want to go up to them and say, stop, don't do it. She's the wrong woman. He's the wrong man. You are going to do things you cannot imagine you would ever do. You are going to do bad things to children. You are going to suffer in ways you had never heard of. You are going to die. I want to go up to them there in the May sunlight and say it. Her pitiful, beautiful, untouched body, her hungry, pretty, blank face turning to me, his arrogant, handsome face turning to me, his pitiful, beautiful, untouched body. But I don't do it. I want to live. I take them up like male and female paper dolls and bang them together at the hips like chips of flint as if to strike sparks from them. I say, do what you're going to do, and I will tell about it.